Chanel. My name's Nelson Mass with Panhandle Door. And I've also have Aaron Miller. He's our operations manager with us today.
Hey.
But we've been with Panhandle for 5 years now. We bought the company in 2018. So we just had our 5-year anniversary, which was exciting looking back. Time flies. But yeah, I came from a non-cabinet world background, so I've had a lot of learning to do, and it's been an exciting ride.
Well, congrats on 5 years. That's a big milestone when you're taking something new on for sure. So talk about what you've accomplished in that time that you're feeling really proud of.
Well, when we bought Panhandle, the previous owners had kind of started out as a mom and pop in the cabinet world. They moved into just doing cabinet doors and components. And I think one of the things they really focused on was getting a production system, which is what we do, right? We're manufacturers. And I think along the way with some fast growth and just simply maybe focusing a little bit too much on production. When we took over the company, one of the first things we did is said we need to slow down. We need to build a high quality product. Customer service and quality is really what we're all about. And so the first 6 months we just spent proving to our customers that we were going to keep our promises and make a very high quality. And then there was also price increases that came with that, of course, but I think we've proved that we've added a lot of value, and that's really, I think, describes Panhandle today. I'm very passionate about customer service and quality being the number one things that we really care about. We've grown the company a lot, and I think that's a reflection of our customer base. They've been very supportive, and last 5 years, construction has been on a tear, so that's been great too. So.
Right. That definitely helps. But we can stand by where Panhandle's a customer of Allmoxy's. We've seen the care that you put into the customer experience and at a company level for your employees as well. And so seeing that like authentic effort that goes into all of that come back for you guys tenfold has been really fun for us to watch from our angle. And it's great to see you putting work into the right place with both quality products and the quality experience.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if we're not adding value to what we're doing for our customers, they don't need us. So
right.
Yeah, we're really, really focused on our customers and providing the products that they need.
Yeah, that's great. If you had advice to give to somebody who was in the process of either scaling a business, buying a business like you did, or starting from scratch in this industry, what would your advice be?
You know, I think for us, people, our employees, that's probably our employees and our customers, but focusing on the people and having the right team makes all the difference in the world. Products are, we're in the people business, and cabinets is what we do. And Aaron, I would give him a lot of kudos. He's been with us for, what have you been, 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
3 years now. And he's really made a lot of changes in just the way we hire, our culture, all of those things. Aaron's made a big impact there. And that's really, I think, revolutionized who we are. You can't have a quality product without starting with quality people. So if you're going to start a business, I think too many people, especially entrepreneurs, think they've got a great idea. And so we focus on the idea and how we're going to leverage that to the marketplace. The truth is it's our employees that actually make it happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Aaron, can you talk a little bit about some of those changes that you made in the hiring process, or what you feel like has really impacted that quality of employee?
Yeah, for sure. One thing, I guess, when I started, we were pretty passionate about us as leaders really getting together and focusing on our employees. And so with hiring, if we can just keep crazy out of the building, then it becomes a lot easier. And so I think if we spend we've worked on spending more time in an interview process, which has just eliminated some of those issues that could happen if we just let everyone come in, So really focusing on that, and then working with our people with just doing reviews, and obviously giving people pats on the back is a big deal too. So we like to focus on people with good performance, their attitudes. It really is about character. And the other thing we focused on too coming in was a character over skill. Character cannot really be taught in a way that skills can. But so yeah, those are some things we focused on, and it's been rewarding for sure. Over time, right initially, it's hard to say no to some skill when maybe the person doesn't quite fit what we're focusing on,
Definitely.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. Having those core values will take you a really long way, and you'll find where they fit eventually, right?
Yeah.
That is great. I'm wondering with the last couple of years, especially, I know how difficult the labor force has become, and this might be a little bit of Nelson too, but how has the last 2 years, both pandemic and post COVID, impacted you guys, and what are some implementations you've made that you feel like have gotten you through that?
Right. And there again, like, I think looking back now, we kind of just decided, no, we're gonna still try to treat people as fairly as possible, just because it is a hard time. And Nelson did such a fantastic job of being very clear and open about what we're doing, so people weren't in the dark and confused. And I think employees deserve that, just there can be a lot of fear through a time like that, and being open and honest as a company is a big deal. But hiring, it was tough too, but here in North Idaho, people wanted to come here, so that was a plus too. We had a lot of move-ins at that time, and some very high quality people came on board during those times. So
that's great. I
think the other thing that COVID really forced us to do is to take a look at changing the way we do things. So we spend a lot of money on upgrading our facility, trying to bring in more automation, a lot of CNC tools, to where we weren't quite as dependent on a labor force being here every day. But the really great thing about the building industry is we never really slowed down much. We probably went with the first couple months of COVID, we lost maybe lost 30% of our workforce. But orders stayed really strong. I mean, we had a lot of customers saying, I'm in Washington State, so I'm shut down, but the lights are off, but please keep delivering. And being in Idaho, that was one of the things that really helped us is we were allowed to continue to operate. So yeah, those challenges, again, I think most of business is just made up of problem solving.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, for the building industry, the pandemic really helped a lot of us. Like it didn't slow down. It was really the labor force that had impacted the most. And so the fact that you guys were already making those adjustments and trying to improve your processes there probably really helped you with retention through that process. And I would imagine has impacted your reputation in the region as a place that people want to be employed by, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we saw an uptick in orders because suddenly we had people calling saying, hey, my supplier is shut down. Can I buy it from you? So one of the challenges that we faced is making sure we took care of our customers and not focusing or not get distracted by all the new customers.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hadn't considered that, just geographically, the unique area that you're in there being so close to Washington and Canada both, that had pretty strict regulations at the time, and Idaho stayed pretty open to work, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. let's talk a little bit about influences that you've had, either just in the last year or so, the last 5 years, but technology or people that have really had a big impact or influence on you.
You know, from a business standpoint, Allmoxy's been a big part of our success. Allmoxy has constantly been trying to move us in the direction of automating our office. Sometimes even maybe when we were a little resistant, and Allmoxy said, no, that's not where you need to go. In hindsight, those were always good choices to spend the money, make the investment in the technology to do the job so that we get rid of shuffling paper. Allmoxy is a big part of, from a sales standpoint, our customers love Allmoxy. We've had a few customers who say, well, we're going to, so-and-so's sales guy showed up and we're going to go try somebody else for a bit, or sometimes price is an issue. And we've had a lot of those guys come back and say, we love Panhandle. It's so easy to enter our orders. We just go do what we want. So much of our lives are spent communicating and trying to make somebody else understand what it is we want. So Allmoxy's been really great at just helping with that order process. Another person that's been really key is Lance at Advanced Machinery. We've kind of partnered with them, and if we buy something, we love the support and just the advice, and Lance kind of feels like he's part of our team. He looks out for us. So they've really helped us with a lot of improvements. Courtney at Mechanic Pride, he's helping us right now write some software that we can use on the production floor. So again, those are some outside influences that I would say have been very, very key into helping us. When we started, we were doing about $3 million in revenue. This past year, we hit 10. So whenever you have all that growth, there's a lot of changes that have to happen. Keep up. So we've had a lot of good people help us make those.
Yeah, it's the correlation between all of those that I'm picking up on is a lot of automating, right? I mean, probably even with the machines, what can you do to kind of speed up processes, reduce the need for labor, but then also make the laborers more valuable in doing what only humans can do, and building up your technology to be able to automate and handle the rest, which would really help you get through this hiring crisis that a lot of people are feeling as well. And hearing you talk about Lance with Advance, that's interesting that experience that you get from him is really what's tied you so close to him and his products, which is what you're giving to your own customers, right? So
that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could treat my customers the way Lance treats us, they should feel the same about us as we feel about Advanced, I think.
That's great. Yeah. We're big fans of the guys of Advanced too. They're great. What do you think the future looks like for you? The next 10 years, where do you see Panhandle going?
That's a hard question. And I'm not the visionary guy that a lot of business owners are. Like I said earlier, I think a lot of what we do is try to solve problems and continuous improvement. I feel like in the cabinet world, there's always going to be a demand for high quality and customer service. I think those things will become more and more important. I mean, just since last fall, the high-end customers that we have, they haven't slowed down a bit. And then kind of that middle class, I don't know if you call them spec builders, but guys that aren't doing the custom stuff, they've really seen their sales drop off. So I believe, through thick and thin, the next 10 years, we're going to see more and more need for high quality customer service. And the world's getting so automated that we all hate when we call customer service and we get a machine instead of a person. So I think we're passionate about making sure that we have relationships with our customers and not just we don't want to be Amazon.
Right. Right. You want to give them the option to self-serve when necessary, but make sure that they have the handhold whenever they're needing or wanting that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see as being a main driving force to success in the future? Is it just the preparations and future proofing that you're putting in now, or what do you think will impact you the most as far as future growth goes?
Well, again, I think it comes back to our people. Without our people, nothing will happen. But we made some huge investments in our facility.
Mm-hmm.
We've in the last year, we've probably upped our production capacity by about 60%. So the world's changing. It used to be that if you could give somebody 2 weeks lead time, that was pretty good. I think that in 4 or 5 years from now, if you can't have it there in 5 days,
Right.
so those things are changing. So we're really working hard at getting our capacity to where we can move in that direction. So yeah, upgrading our facility, new equipment, new technology, but again, it all comes back to our people.
That's so great. So talking shop wise a little bit, let's go into that. What would be an innovation or piece of machinery? What's something that you're really excited about or that you think has impacted that shop floor flow the most?
Well, we're always excited about the latest piece of equipment we bought, right?
The shiny toy.
Yeah, the shiny toy. Sometimes it's kind of hard to forget, or it's easy to forget the way we did it 2 years ago. We look at a piece of equipment that's sitting out in the boneyard and we're like, wow, we actually built that much product with that old machine. But we've in the frame line, we've added the Vertonghen cells to do our coping and style and rail shaping. That's been a big improvement. We just added a Bocce Door Pro the last 4 or 5 months. We're still trying to figure out how that fits into our flow. But all of those things have given us a lot of consistency. We just got a new 4-headed sander the other day. It's not installed yet, but any of those things that we can add, equipment, the CNC technology is really amazing. And what we see in the CNC technology isn't so much a labor savings as it is consistency. When you have those kind of machines, it's perfect. And when you apply stain to something that has been through a high-tech sander, it takes the stain nice and evenly, and you don't get you just don't get the lower quality that you do.
And those improvements, have they really helped improve your remake rate with those improvements that you're talking about?
They have, yep. They have, but at the same time, I think that the thing that's probably improved our remakes more than anything is just our people. Having a culture that you don't just pass on a piece just because that you're trying to make your numbers. If something is, we tell our people that the next person in the process is your customer. And so don't send anything bad to your customer. One of the other things that Quantum Lean has helped us with is this, just wrapping our heads around the idea that sometimes it's better to involve. So if we have a remake part now, instead of taking it back to the source, we pass it back up to the source. So if it passed 3 or 4 stations and then it has to be remade, we actually pass that style rail, whatever that part is, back through. And everybody that looked at that and handed it off, it goes back the same way it got down the line. So just little things like that really, really help improve quality. Machines are great. They're consistent, but quality starts with people, not machines.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really like that approach too. I mean, it makes some accountability happen, not just on the person that maybe the incident happened with, but every hand that it went through beyond. And that really kind of helps spread out the accountability, right?
And it's a great educational tool. You bring new people into the line, and so they say, well, I thought that looked great, and if it comes back, they're like, oh, okay, I understand now why that is subpar, and I won't let it happen again.
Wow. How long ago did you implement doing that?
Well, Aaron's our lean expert. I'll let him talk a little bit about lean.
Yeah, I guess as far as that's kind of come over time where we've been working on that. I guess he mentioned Quantum Lean too. I would vouch for them. If you don't know, you can just search them on Google. But really, quality at the source is a big deal. And the remakes that come to the very end are super painful. And that's, that's double the product. And the second time you make it, there's no profit there. Nobody's making anything. And ultimately, our customers are suffering because it's getting in the way of somebody else's product. But quality at the source, big deal. One thing we're starting to do too is just a quick morning meeting with everybody. It's educational. It keeps a rhythm going, and it keeps people excited about improvements they're working on. And and eliminating waste is a big deal. So.
Okay, so you're doing a daily morning meeting right now.
We are, yes, yep.
And is that company-wide?
It's company-wide, yep. As many people who are at the plant right here locally. Mm-hmm. And we're spending about 10 minutes average, and it's just really short. We just go through a few slides, and we learn some things about lean and about the waste, and then from there we go and we spend some time improving our areas in the shop or wherever you're working in the office, because we're convinced that there's a lot of waste that can be reduced, and that doesn't add any value for our customers. Yeah.
Right. Wow. I think that's really neat. I think so many people right now are trying to figure out how we cut back on the meetings, right? Like how we can turn more things into an email or a note. What kind of impacts have you seen? Like, what's the response from the shop employees level at doing a meeting every morning? Do you think they're feeling more involved? Are they proactive?
Right. Yeah. So some people lap it up like they're hungry for it. Other people struggle a little bit, and I think that's part of the consistency of it. And then over time, we're gonna see big results, because it really does boil down to being consistent with whatever you're trying to implement or trying to work on. Yeah. And just keeping the rhythm, but also staying focused on point of. And if the meetings get boring, then there's a problem. We should probably try to fix something or work on it. So everyone's been excited. I think it comes down to having, understanding what the improvements were and being able to have evidence of that. And you can't disprove evidence. So that's a big deal too. Is make sure people are seeing what's happening. That's part of our meetings, is showing before and after pictures or videos of the things that we've changed and implemented. And it's proven well. We're excited.
Yeah, that's got to be great for motivation, and to remind everybody where you've come from instead of just thinking about the progress that's meant to be made.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You guys are really implementing a lot of cool practices. It's fun to, from Allmoxy's seat, we're watching you grow and grow, orders increase and revenues and everything else. But to see what's actually happening on the shop floor and what you're doing at the level of people is really remarkable. So hats off to you guys for doing that.
And I'll vouch for Allmoxy too, because the focus, the amount of time we can focus on other things aside from orders has increased a lot, because of we're working on our Allmoxy platforms all the time, and little ideas come along. We're so thankful that part is streamlined and it's simple, and it makes for a quality product to come to the end because of the information. So,
perfect. We love to hear it. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for sharing kind of some industry secrets there and what's working so well for you. It's great to catch up and hear about all of that. Nelson, if you could choose one word to describe Panhandle, what would that be?
I'm not sure that you can describe Panhandle in one word, but we're excited about what we're doing. Excited about the team of people that we've got. We've got a bright future. I don't know. Do you have a word for that, Chenille?
I get
maybe
excitement.
we'll have to invent a word. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Sounds
I
like a
think
lot
we're
of
amazing.
The future's bright. Good.
The future's very bright. Yeah.
Good.
I know a lot of people worry about, I mean, the economy and the state of affairs the world is in and our politics and all that kind of stuff. But America's filled with a lot of really good people. And I think if we focus on doing what we do and doing it very well, our future will be bright for a very long time.
I couldn't agree more. So, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.